Hello, welcome to your first video about grammar. For this first unit, again, we're going to do a lot of revisions from collège. If you know all this already, then it's going to be very quick. And if you need some revision, well, it's a good way to start. In the next lesson, you're going to compare two people. So to do that, you need to be able to use the comparative form. So here's a quick recap on how you compare using adjectives. Two examples. First, to start on the form aussi que. He is as tall as his sister. Il est aussi grand que sa sœur. This class is as interesting as the other ones. Ce cours est aussi intéressant que les autres. This is the easiest really for you because you use as followed by an adjective and then as regardless of the length of the adjective. Okay? Moins que is pretty much the same. Now look at my examples. This armchair is less comfortable than mine. It's not as big as mine. It's not as cheap as mine either. Ce fauteuil est moins confortable que le mien. Il n'est pas aussi grand que le mien. Il n'est pas aussi bon marché non plus. This is very simple as well. Now look, you're going to use less adjective and than for long adjectives. For short adjectives, you're not going to use this. This is old-fashioned. We don't do that anymore in English. So you're going to use not so adjective as or not as adjective as. And this is a matter of choice, whichever you prefer. Okay? We're moving on to something which is slightly more complicated, but you should know about it. It's the various way we use to say plus que. In order to do that, you need to be able to make a difference between a short and a long adjective. A short adjective is one with one syllable, big, small, or, and this is where you have to use your memory, two syllables if they end in y, as in funny, if the adjective ends with a, as in clever, o, narrow, or le, as for instance in subtle. So whenever you come across adjectives which are two syllables, you have to think a little bit. A long adjective is two syllables, except everything I said above, or more. And that's quite straightforward. So for short adjectives, he is bigger than his brother. Il est plus grand ou plus gros que son frère. He is wittier than him. Il est plus malin que lui. Now look, so you use your adjective, you add er at the end and than. And don't forget than, and don't mistake it with that. It's than. Something you must pay attention to is that in short adjectives, in order to keep the sound of the vowel, you double the final consonant, so big becomes bigger. Otherwise, you would pronounce it bijer, and it does not exist. And y becomes ier, so witty becomes wittier. Okay, so it's a bit of a gymnastic. You need to practice, but it's really simple. For long adjectives, no exceptions, and this is the form you probably know very well. This armchair is more comfortable than mine. More adjective than. Of course, and a language would not be interesting otherwise. There are a few exceptions, which you must learn by heart, very simply. So good becomes better, just like in French, really. Bon, mieux. Okay, I don't know. This film is good, but this one is better. On the opposite, and it's like in French again, bad becomes worse, mauvais, pire. Far, loin, becomes either farther or further. Old becomes older, except when you want to mention your elder brother or your elder sister, in which case you have to change it, okay? But if you talk about something else, my house is older than yours, then you keep the regular form. Much becomes more. He has much money, I've got more. Many, he's got many children, I've got more. And little becomes less. One final thing, if you want to compare two people, and this is going to be useful for the lesson, there's not just a comparative form. You can use various expressions to compare people. Both of us are fit. Nous sommes en forme tous les deux. Both of us, tous les deux. She's fit, just like me. Elle est en forme, comme moi. Just is optional, you don't have to use it. You can compare making a difference. Unlike me, she is fit, meaning I am not fit, but she is. Or another way to say moi aussi, she is fit, so am I, me too. So try to remember these. They're not too complicated for you, and use them. And I'll see you in class, and we're going to use all of that. Okay. So I'll see you in class. Bye bye.